Hey guys, welcome back to Psychosocial. Just think about it once, the world is a beautiful place. Indeed, it is, right? There are so many places to visit. There are so many great countries to visit, right? Lovely nature, awesome scenic beauty. All those things really make this world a beautiful place, right? But as you know, we face a lot of difficult challenges in our life. Then why a beautiful place with difficult challenges? What's the combination all about? I'm sure, during my childhood, even I used to wonder why. And even today, I do wonder. But I think some of the other beauty and the beast, the combination, right? We talk about. So think about, a lot of beautiful animals. They're surviving in the world. And they're dangerous too, right? Most of the cases you will find out the dangerous animals do look beautiful and the attraction is there some or the other. Yes, sometimes you do get to see them in a zoo, caged, but people do come to visit even though they know they're very dangerous. So similarly, challenges can be really difficult to overcome, but that's the beauty of it. Sometimes we tend to forget because we always try to figure out how to overcome the challenges in a easier way, but sometimes it's not possible. So for that reason we need to understand the difference between concept and process. As you guys already know, and I believe you have seen other videos which I posted, right? A lot of people even came back to me later on and they said that whether am I against motivation or not. Surprisingly, I don't know why they came up with that particular question, but I personally believe I must have mentioned something which may be found against motivation. But honestly, I'm trying to clarify that right now in this particular video that I'm not against motivation at all. I want motivation to be more effective. And for that reason, I have mentioned about another concept, or rather not concept, as a process, that reality. And what is reality? Reality is all about processes, steps to be followed in order to grow, right? So today I will talk about it, and today I will tell you once again another concept which most of the people do not probably understand, and they do not understand the difference between two different things. And what is that? One is marketing, one is sales. I'm sure people who are in sales, people who are in marketing, or maybe people who are in finance, they know the difference. I would expect them to know the difference. But for the masses, I'm telling you that most of the people do not know that marketing is a concept and sales is a process. So what's the difference between these two then? People do talk about marketing and sales in a similar manner, as if both are the same thing, but you don't understand that. Why? Because nobody, I haven't found anybody who typically mentioned what's the difference between these two. So I thought of explaining it to you so that I can explain you in a better way that why I promote reality over motivation. Okay, so here is a main difference. Okay, so marketing, why I call marketing is a concept, because marketing is all about a technique to be applied in order to create prospect customers. To say, for example, advertisement, right? Advertisement is a part of marketing. So what we are doing, we are actually trying to build our branding. So we are promoting our brand through advertisement, and people get to see that and they will get attracted to know what's the product all about, right? Once they are attracted to the product, once they want to know, once they want to purchase, then sales will come into picture. So where marketing ends, typically sales begins. Similar fashion, where motivation comes to an end, reality begins. So as I said previously, that motivation will bring you back on the track if you got deviated, if you got rather derailed some or the other. But reality will help you to grow. So say, for example, why am I saying this? Because as I mentioned, motivation is a concept and reality is a process. So when it comes to concept, it's all about techniques. It's all about statements. It's all about words. It's all about typical playing with mind games, right? And when it comes to reality, it's about process. So number one, number two, number three, like this, okay? There are different steps to be followed in order to grow. I'm not going to disclose, or rather I'm not going to describe each and every step because it's going to take a hell lot of time. I know you guys do not have time, and this is the era of, creating shorts, right? 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and people want to get rid of it. But so I don't want to elaborate it more. But think about it this perspective, that sales is a process and marketing is a concept. Motivation is a concept and reality is a process. So process needs to be followed even if you're not motivated. That's my bottom line. I previously mentioned that if you do not want to get motivated, no one can motivate you. No one in the world can motivate you, right? So it's inevitable. But on the other hand, think about it this perspective. If you do not get motivated, don't you have the right to survive? Don't you have the right to grow? Yes, you have. So for that reason, you need to follow process. So process is a thing to trust. Remember, you haven't created that process. Somebody else did. And that person maybe is a scholar. And that's the reason they invented those kind of techniques or those kind of processes, steps to be followed, right? So sometimes you need to, or maybe I would say most of the times, you need to rely on the process and follow that. It's not about motivation, as I said. You do not need to get attracted because those steps are already pre-applied and already tested. As you know, I'm sure you guys know about UAT, right? UAT is related to testing phase. So whenever something is getting implemented for the first time, those things get tested, or those things go through some testing phase so that it proves to be effective for the users, right? So for that reason, these are the processes. I already talked about project management technique, right? Agile project management previously. So agile project management process or approach was already tested, and it's already proven that it's correct and it's beneficial for most of the businesses. So that's the reason it's been implemented and people are following it. Now, if you raise a question against something, then you are not actually following the process. You can innovate the path, but if you question on the particular process, then you will lose out time. At the same part of time, you will lose out maybe implementing those. So sometimes you need to trust the process and follow it. I'm not saying follow it blindly. People do get even deviated by this particular term, that follow. What do you mean by following? Should I follow something blindly? No. You should not. But sometimes you need to trust the process. Maybe you are not able to grasp it. You're not able to understand the outcome or how it really works. But you need to rely on those experts. They have tested it. And that's the reason it's there in the market. And it's not only applicable for our professional life. In our real life, in our personal life, do apply it. Say, for example, I always talk about collaboration, right? So talk to your family members. If you want to implement something new in your family, okay, then talk to everyone, then implement it. And then if something doesn't work out, or maybe one of your family members finds it not working for him or her, then talk to her or talk to him, or maybe let the person come back to you and then sit together and find out another alternative. That's the way it should be, and that is a process. For that reason, you do not need motivation. You need to follow the process. You do not need to get motivated, rather, all the time to perform a task. You have to follow the process, and that's the reason trust is a very, very important part. If you do not trust a process, you would not be able to follow it properly, right? So please understand this particular concept. Please understand the difference between concept and process, and try to process it in your mind so that you can implement all the things rather properly and get benefited out of it. Please do hit the like button if you have liked my video, and do subscribe to my channel to support. Stay safe and keep smiling.